Robert and I went into downtown Jackson Hole for a great breakfast and visited the town square. We then returned to our room, packed, and headed off for the day. Robert loaded his bike in the minivan and returned it to the Jackson Hole Airport. I started out on a trail from the hotel and rendezvoused with him on the way. Even though the day started out cloudy and drizzly, I was happy to be back on my bike and riding with Robert. I also noted that this was likely the only day where I would ride further than Robert. We rode along a multi-use trail that soon ran out, leaving us on an okay shoulder on a road with many vacationers racing to enjoy Yellowstone in the rain.
Protect migrating wildlife, animals near roadway, be alert. Slow down, I think is what they mean.
Many of them towing their RVs or boats. Luckily, our road turned off from the way to Yellowstone, and we had one of our first decent shoulders of the entire trip. It was about 4 to 6 feet wide, and the traffic was much lighter. Soon, we started seeing signs warning us about wildlife, including bears. We both had our bear spray close at hand, but luckily we never had to use it. Robert and I then started the long, steady climb to Togadee.
Yep, watch out for bears.
The climb started out cloudy, which progressed to a drizzle, and then to an all-out rain. I was successful in getting an early check-in at the hotel by pointing out that we were soaked to the skin. Also, we were thankful that the hotel had a restaurant, and we did not have to go out. Togadee was one of 2 hotels where we could not take our bikes into our room. We were assured that they would be safe on the front porch. Thankfully, they were correct.
Oh, baby, ready to roll?
I think so. I think we got everything put together and ready to roll.
It did create more work in unloading and reloading the bikes and charging Pepe's batteries, but it all worked out. The next morning, we left Togadee Mountain Lodge to complete the climb to the Continental Divide. This was my first crossing and Robert's third. And then we went on to the Togadee Pass, elevation 9,658 feet. As we climbed higher, there was snow and ice, and it got colder.
Looks like a golf course with a bunch of very clean sand traps.
Thankfully, we both had on appropriate gear. The signage on the other side of the road showed that we climbed over 17 miles at an average of 6% grade to get to the top. We then had a lovely long descent much of the way to Du Bois. I stopped at the town sign, and a truck stopped, and the driver asked me if I was okay and if I needed any help. Since we were too early to check into our hotel, we stopped at a local bakery/arcade where Robert had the largest calzone we had ever seen. Even he wasn't able to eat the whole thing. Our hotel, Twin Pines, was another cute cabin. We liked cabins because generally they were easy to get our bikes in. Robert and I walked to dinner at the Cowboy Cafe, where we checked out the stained glass, had a nice glass of sangria, and I had yet another chicken fried steak. Are you sensing a theme here? Luckily, I was burning enough calories to be able to eat like this. The next day, we went Du Bois to Lander, a 75-mile route. We had a lovely but cool start today as we rode along the shoulder of US 287. We spent the first part of the route along the Wind River, which was full on its banks.
That river's way high.
Thankfully, we had some blue skies today. We passed the National Museum of Military Vehicles. Unfortunately, it was closed, so we rode on. While we saw no bears, we did see elk and antelope. At this point, Robert and I also started seeing some beautiful red cliffs and bluffs.
Well, no more bear signs.
No, it's like elk signs.
Yeah.
Let's not hit an elk.
Then we hit the construction. 15 miles of scraped, shredded pavement. The only blessing was that it was Sunday, so the road crew was not out there making it into a one-lane road. The construction ended at Crowheart, and we stopped at a convenience store there for snacks and fluids. Soon after, we rode on, and in came the rain. And we're not talking about a mere drizzle. This was a serious rain for 14 miles with no trees, no buildings, and no shelter until we finally reached Fort Washakie, looking like drowned cats.
We had about 12 miles of just rain
Yeah.
and wind.
Then we got 15.
15.
No, 14 to go. She said we were at 60, so
Yeah.
we're at 74.
Something like that. Yeah.
Easy peasy. 14. I thought we were in trouble. I thought it'd be 15.
Was that thunder?
Yeah, that was thunder.
Yeah. Awesome.
We may stay around here for a while.
We were actually pretty early. It's a little bit afternoon, and we can't check in till 3 anyway. And we can make that distance in an hour and a half easy, so.
And they have coffee.
And I have hot tea. And clothes to change into if it'll stop raining so I can get them out of my bag.
Yeah.
Because there's not enough shelter here.
We huddled under the small eave of a gas station convenience store. Thankfully, the rain paused just after we changed into dry clothes and our serious rain gear. Ain't that the way? We took off and raced to Lander. We were happy to see our Travelodge hotel where Robert cleaned our bikes and I washed our clothes, and then we climbed into the hot tub as a reward. Next episode, The Joys of Jeffrey City. See you then.